So in the previous classes we have already discussed two different beams. Okay, so both were continuous beam, and this is the third example that I am going to solve. This is the third problem we will solve. Let us look into the structure, then we will try to understand how do we need to analyze it. Okay, so let us go with the first thing to analyze. There are two members are there. So AB, BC, and then there is another member called CD, which is cantilever in nature. Okay, so let us look into the loading condition. The loading is 40 kN, which is at the center, concentrated load on AB. On member BC, we have UDL, which is 10 kN per meter. Then on the cantilever portion, it is 20 kN, which is acting at the free end. Okay, on the tip of the free end, 20 kN is acting. So the length of the members are 4 meter, 6 meter, and 2 meter. Right. So after looking into this figure, what we will do is, the first thing what we need to do is to find out the fixed end moments of this structure. Right. Let us take this member AB. Okay. So if I take this member AB, it will be a concentrated load which is at the center. So with respect to this condition, we can solve our fixed end moments. So the fixed end moment is WL by 8. We all know that. So W is 40 kN, length is 4 meter. So WL by 8 will give you minus 20. So MFEB is minus 20, MFBA is plus 20. Similarly, we will calculate MFBC, which is 10 into 6 square divided by 12. Right? So WL square divided by 12. From that we can calculate how much is the fixed end moment in case of UDL loading, which is minus 30 kN per meter and plus 30 kN per meter in case of MFBC and MFCB. So we have determined all the fixed end moments for this given structure. The next thing what we do is that we will try to understand this cantilever portion. So to make you understand this cantilever portion, what I am doing is we are separating out the cantilever section, cantilever portion. We are removing it. Now look into this structure. This is the same structure which I have modified. This is the original structure I have. This is the modified structure I have. So what is the modification that I have done is, I have tried to remove this off, or to for some time let us try to understand that we have taken it out. This cantilever portion is taken it out. So if I take this out, what should be the modification that I have to do in this part of the beam? Okay, if I am separating this part, if I remove this, what is the modification that I have to do here? So to understand that, what I will do is, I will first analyze this cantilever beam. Okay, so this cantilever beam, or this portion cantilever, is subjected to a point load which is 20 kN. So 20 into 2 will give you 40 kN. So the moment at this point is how much? 40 kN. Right. Now let us analyze what is the sign symbol of that. So you will get negative minus 40. Okay. So if it is minus 40 kN, according to the equilibrium equations, so what we say is that summation of all the moments at C section, C joint, should be equal to 0. It means what? There are two moments which will be created. One is MCD and the other one is MCB. So MCB is equivalent to MCD is equivalent to MCB, and its signs are equivalent opposite. So if this is minus 40 kN, so this should be how much? Plus 40 kN. Now, as I am removing this cantilever, what I am doing is, I am applying this 40 kN as the moment over here. Okay, you try to understand this. So this is how it works. To remove off this cantilever portion, first I will calculate how much is the moment reaction that is developed in the cantilever section. I will also look into the sign symbol. The same sign symbol, changing the sign symbol with the same magnitude, I apply it on MCB. Right. So right now this joint is balanced. So how is it balanced? At joint C, the summation of moment should be equal to 0. So MCB should be equal to MCD. Now if you see this, 40 minus 40 will be equal to 0. So that's how I balance this. So after balancing, you can remove this cantilever portion, and we are only focusing on this beam now. Only we are going to solve this beam. Okay. Now there is one more thing which is asked in the problem, that is there is a sinking. Okay. As you can see, I have written on the board that support B sinks by 10 mm. Right. This is your support B which is sinking by 10 mm. Okay. The value of E is given to you. The value of I is given to you. Okay. Now let us look into the value of E, which is 200 to 10 raised to 6 kN per meter square. Please focus on the unit. Okay. So if you understand the unit, we could be able to solve it. Okay. I is 100 into 10 raised to minus 6 m raised to 4. Right. So initially what I will do is the value of sink is also given to you, which is a 10 mm. So firstly we will solve how much is EI delta value. So E value is there, I value is there, delta value is there. So multiply E with I, but try to observe this value which is in terms of mm. So you have to convert this in terms of meter, which is 10 by 1000. So after converting this into meter, you multiply E, I and delta value over here and then write down. So this is how much I got. EI delta value is equals to 200. Okay. Now let me explain you why I have solved EI delta and where it can be used. Okay. So first thing first, what I'll do is that I'll take this structure. Okay. Now assuming that there is a sink of 10 mm. Okay. There is a sink of 10 mm. So because of that, there will be movements that will be generated because of sinking. Okay. So I have solved all those movements. So I have given you while deriving the equations for slope deflection equation, I have told you that the moment which is creating the sink or the translation will be equals to 6 EI delta divided by L square. Right? Now what is this member? This member is your A, B, and this is the member BC. Okay. So the length of this member is how much? The length of this member is 4 meter. So the length of the member BC is how much? It is 6 meter, right? So first I will calculate what is 6 EI delta divided by L square for both the members. So 6 EI delta, 6 multiplied by EI delta is how much? 200 divided by LAB. LAB is how much? 4. So 6 into 200 divided by 4 square will give you the value of moment, which is 75 kilonewton meter. Okay. Now do not worry about this value, whether it is negative or positive. I will explain it later. Just calculate this and write it down. Okay. Next is 6 EI delta divided by LBC square. 6 into 200 divided by 6 square will give you the moment which are created for member BC. Right. So once you determine how much is the moments that is created in both the members at both the ends with respect to the sinking value. So what is the next thing we need to do is that we need to go back and solve the slope deflection equations. So how many slope deflection equations you will have? MAB, MBA, MBC, MCB. Okay, right. The 4 equations we can write down. So let us start writing one by one. Okay. So I will begin with here, which is MAB. We all know the MAB equation, MFAB plus 2 EI by L into bracket 2 theta A plus theta B minus 3 delta by L bracket close. Okay. So this was the generalized equation which we had. Now we have to go back and understand what is the kinematic indeterminacy and static indeterminacy of the structure. I have already written this because the kinematic indeterminacy and static indeterminacy are similar to that of the problem which we solved in previous. Okay. If you go back to the previous problem, you will understand that. Okay. So static indeterminacy is 4 minus 2, 4 reactions are there. Draw the free body diagram and determine how much is SI value. And Ki, which is kinematic indeterminacy, is 2. And what are those values? Theta B and theta C. Now see here. Theta B, which is a roller joint here. So it means what? There will be a slope at B, and then there is a C, which is again a roller, and there exists a slope. Right? So theta B, theta C exists. Right? So these are my 2 kinematic indeterminacies. Now let us go back to this equation again. So 2 theta A, whether theta A exists? No, theta A is equals to 0. Now theta B is there, right? 3 delta by L is there, right? So I have already given you what is delta by L. We'll come over here later. Okay. So MFAB is how much? Minus 20 kilonewton. Okay, plus of 2 EI by L. So 2 EI divided by L means what? 4 meter. Right, multiplied by theta B. Okay, because theta is already cancelled. So that is how I written, which is 0.5 EI theta B. So now what I will do is 2 EI multiplied by this value is nothing but 6 EI delta divided by L square. Right. So 6 EI delta divided by L square, which I already calculated. How much is this? 6 multiplied by EI delta. Okay, which is 200 divided by LAB square. So I know how much is this value, which is 75. So if I multiply it inside, it will become minus. So minus of 75. Right? So this is what the equation for MAB. Now you try to observe this. This is 33.34. Okay, I am not written it as negative or as I written in the earlier case. So I'll simply explain you why I have written it as positive. Okay. So to understand that, what we need to do is we need to join this line. Okay. So this is called as a near end, this is your far end. Okay. For member AB, A is the near end, B is the far end. Now for member BC, B is the near end, C is the far end. Okay. Now when near end is at higher elevation and B is at lower elevation, the far end is at lower elevation. So what we do is that we keep the value over here, this angle xi AB as it is, okay, which is delta by L. Okay. Now going with this, in this case what is happening? This is your xi BC. This is going in upward direction. Okay. So this is your near end, this is your far end. So near end is at a lower elevation and far end is at higher elevation. So in this case we will take minus delta by L. Okay. So this is what the condition we need to understand. This is what the condition we need to focus upon. Okay. If near end is at higher elevation and far end is at lower elevation, so this value delta by L will remain positive itself. Okay. Now when the near end is at lower elevation, far end is at higher elevation, then the value of the angle over here, which is xi BC, we will call it as minus delta by L. Okay. So if delta by L is minus in nature, okay. Now I'll write over here. So it is like this: 2 EI by L, okay, which is 6, 2 theta A, sorry, this is theta B plus of theta C minus 3 minus of delta by L. This is what the equation will become. Okay. Now if I solve this, it will become 6 EI delta divided by L square. Now minus into minus, it will become plus. So that's why this value is plus 33.34. Now you remember this concept. So in the next condition also we need to solve it like this itself. Always observe the near end and far end. If the near end is at higher elevation, far end is at lower elevation, delta by L will remain positive itself. If the near end is at lower elevation, far end is at higher elevation, the delta by L value will become negative, minus, right? So if it becomes negative, this value, which is 6 EI delta divided by L BC square, will become positive value. So that's why I have written them as positive. Okay. Let me quickly explain this MBC and MCB equation. Okay. So we already know that MAB and MBA are established equations. Now let us try to identify this equation which I have written here. Okay. So to understand this, I'll briefly write over here and rub off the equations, but I'll write the simplified equation of this. So this is what the equation I established for MBC and MCB, and we will try to identify whether the established equation is correct or not. So you basically have to apply the basic generalized equation for MBC also. What is MBC is equals to? MBC is equals to MFBC, right, plus of 2 EI by L. L is your 6 meter. Okay. So 2 theta B plus 2 theta C minus of 3 delta by L. Okay. So this you already know. Fine. So in this equation, 2 theta B multiplied by 2 EI by L, it means what? 4 EI theta B by L, right? So that is what we need to substitute here. So 4 by 6 will be equals to 0.667 EI theta B. Okay. Similarly, 2 EI by L into theta C, so it will become 2 EI theta C divided by 6, so it will be 0.334 EI theta C. So as I told you earlier, in case of sinking support, if the far end is at higher elevation compared to the near end, we will consider it as minus delta by L. So minus into minus, it will become plus. Because of that, it is 33.34, right? So this you need to understand. So this is what the equation for MBC. Similarly, you can also interpret how this MCB equation is written. Okay, so once we have solved these two equations, what we do is that we go to the equilibrium equations. So we have two equilibrium equations. One is MBA plus MBC equal to 0. The other equation is MCB equal to 40. Okay, so let us identify those two equations which we have to generate. The first equation is being MBA plus MBC. So this is your MBA and this is your MBC. You have to take the sum of this and equate it to 0, right? So I have written it over here, if you can observe. Okay, so this is the equation which is comprising of MBA plus MBC. Okay, now further I have simplified it, and named it as first equation in Roman 1. Okay, similarly MCB is equated to 40. This is your MCB. MCBA is being substituted to 40, is equated to 40. Now this is the equation which you get. I'll call it as second equation. So from these two equations, this is the first equation, second equation, I can determine what is my EI theta B and EI theta C. So this is the simplification part of mine. So after simplifying, this is what I get. EI theta B is equals to 42.23, EI theta C is equals to this much, right? So once we find out what are the unknown values, what we do is that we substitute these unknown values back into these equations and solve what is MAB, MBA, MBC and MCB. So this is what we got. Okay, so MBA, so MBA is equals to minus 73.885, MBA is minus 12.77. okay, my MBC is 12.77 and MCB is 40, because as we know MCB has been equated to 40 itself. So these are the end moments that we arrived for this problem. Okay, so next thing is to draw the shear force and bending moment diagram and also to calculate the reactions. So after solving the end moments for all the four ends, which is MAB, MBA and MBC and MCB, what we'll do is we'll try to determine the reactions. Okay, so to understand the reactions, what I have done is that I have first drawn the free body diagram. So in the free body diagram, you could be able to see that there are four reactions which we need to calculate: MAB, VA, VB, VC. Okay, and we already have determined MAB, which is minus 73.885, and then we have also determined these values. Okay, now you try to also focus on the direction of moments that I have shown. Okay, they will represent whether they are positive or negative in nature, right? So we have also determined the end moments over B joint and C joint. So these are the values we got. We need to discover these reactions. So as I told you that in the previous classes also, that we need to use the superposition, principle of superposition, and we need to determine what are the reactions. Okay, so the first thing what I do is that I usually separate out in terms of simply supported beams, or you can say it as deterministic beams. Okay, so this is AB part, which is 4 meter length. Then I had taken BC part, which is another 6 meter length. Okay, now there is another element which is called as CD, which is the cantilever portion. I have shown the cantilever portion also. So what I do is that from this I'll apply the external load only. The external load is 40 kilonewton. So only from the external load how much reactions will be generated for this simply supported beam I'll determine. Similarly for BC member also I'll subject it to the available external load, and then I'll determine the reactions. The same thing I'll do it for the cantilever structure also. So this is your cantilever structure. As you know, summation of vertical forces on this cantilever section will be equals to 0. So 20 kilonewton is the external load which has been applied on this beam. Over here you can see, so the reactions over here for this cantilever member will also be 20, and this is how I have determined the reactions simply coming from the external loads which have been applied. Okay, next thing what I do is that based on the internal moments which I have, I'll also determine what is the reaction. Okay, so now let us determine that. So this is the member AB, this is your member BC. For member AB we know what are the moments. So for MAB it is minus 73.885, for MBA it is minus 12.77, right? So I have written the equation over here. If you can observe this, you will understand how array is being calculated. What we do is that we'll take the summation of all the moments at B is equals to 0, and by doing that we'll considering this to be RA multiplied by 4 minus of 73.885 minus of 12.77 equating it to 0. I'll determine RA is how much? 21.66. so the reaction that is coming only because of these end movements is 21.66. in a similar way, what I do is I'll take member BC and I'll determine how much is the reaction generated here. So see here, summation of all the movements at C will be equal to 0. So RB into 6, I'm assuming that RB is the reaction over here multiplied by 6. So RB into 6 plus of 12.77 plus of 40 is equating it to 0. So RB will be equals to minus 8.795. So I have determined this reaction and this reaction for this element and this element respectively. Next thing is to determine how much is the value over here and how much is the reaction over here. So as I tell you to do in a simple mathematics is to take the summation of vertical reaction equals to 0. If this is plus 21.66, this will become minus 21.66. If this is minus 8.795, this will become plus 8.795. So fine, we have calculated the reactions that will be developed because of the movement, and then we have also calculated the reactions that will be generated because of the end movements. The next thing is to sum up accordingly or respectively for any given joint, and then determining how much reactions will be generated at that particular joint. So now let us try to determine how much will be the reaction that will be generated at the A point. So I am calling it as VA. VA is representing the vertical reaction at A. So I'll sum up all the reactions that are developed at A, both from the external loading and the end moments. So 20 plus 21.66 will give you this value, which is VA is equals to 41.66. Now next thing is that we need to determine how much is the reaction that will be generated at this joint. To do that, what I'll do is at B, whatever the reactions are developed, see here. So from member AB, there is a reaction that is generated at B. So similarly at B joint from member BC also there is a reaction. So I have to sum up all of this. So these are the reactions which are developed because of the external loading. These two are the reactions which are developed due to end moments. So let us sum all these values. So this, and this. All these four values are summed up and I'll get a value of 19.545, which is the reaction at the VB. Now similarly at the C also we'll do the same thing. So 30 plus 20 plus 8.795 will give you the vertical reaction at C. So this is how we determine the reactions and also all the end moments. Now this is perfectly analyzed because we know all the reactions, we know all the end moments. The next thing what we need to do is to draw the shear force diagram and bending moment diagram for this given structure. Okay, so let me erase. So first thing is that we'll try to determine the shear force diagram. So to draw the shear force diagram, you already know the sign conventions. If the reaction or the force is in upward direction, we take it positive. If it going in downward direction, we take it negative. So first we'll start with A. Okay, so if you take at the left of the A, how much is the reaction? There it will be equal to 0. But when you go to the right of it, if you immediately go to the right of the A, you will see that there is a reaction, that is VA, which is 41.66. So I'll go in the upward positive, which is 41.66. Okay, the next thing is that this same will continue till you reach this concentrated load, the point where the concentrated load is acting. So 41.66 minus of 40, which is equals to 1.66, right? So this has to come in the downward direction, which is 41.66. Sorry, right, this was 41.66, minus of 40 is there, so somewhere here it will appear. Okay, so let me call this as point of 1.66. okay, so this value will continue till this point, so this entire portion will be of positive in shear force. Okay, next thing is that I have to again take an upward force which is plus of 19.545, which is again going in the upward direction itself. So this value will be this value is 41.66, this is also 41.66, so here it is 1.66, so here also it will be same. Now if you go here, it will be 21.205. okay, this 21.205 will linearly vary, and let us try to find out how much will be the shear force at the left of the C. okay, so determine that, what I have to do is that this 21.205 should be deducted by 10 into 6, which is minus 38.795. okay, all right, so this is the point which is minus 38.795. okay, now again I have to apply an upward force. So because there is a reaction at C, if I go to the right of it, which is plus of 58.795, right, so this will go in the upward direction like this, right, and the value over here is 20, and this 20 will continue till you reach the D point. At D point again we have a downward force, so it will go down like this, so this will be equal to 0. So this is your shear force diagram. So these are your positive values. Okay, so this is the only negative portion. So this is your positive shear force portion, this is your negative shear force portion. Okay, so once this is done, next thing is to determine the bending moment diagram. So how do we solve the bending moment diagram? First what we do is that we will first draw the bending moment diagram only because of the external loading. So considering them as simply supported beam, if I have to determine, first thing what we do in our bending moment diagram is that considering them as a deterministic structures, we will draw the bending moment diagram for that. So AB is considered to be simply supported beam, so considering them as simply supported beam, if I try to determine the bending moment diagram, it will be a triangular bending moment diagram, and the peak will be at the point where the load is there. Okay, so this is the value I will get, as we have already determined 20 is the reaction over here, 20 multiplied by 2 will give you the bending moment at the center, which is 40 kilonewton. Similarly, we can also determine how much is the maximum bending moment at the center for this member BC, which is WL square by 8, and by doing that I will get 45. Similarly for cantilever beam, so the bending moment at the tip, at this point it will be 0, and it will be maximum at the point where the reaction has been determined. So again this will be a right triangle. So this is what your bending moment diagram, which you observe only in case of deterministic in structure. So the next thing what I have to do is I have to superimpose it by the reactions that I have observed here. Okay, so the reactions that I have is MAB is minus 73.85, is somewhat like this. This is your minus 73.85. Now try to observe this. This is the term which is going in the upward direction. So I'll increase it to minus 73.885. okay, now if you see this arrow, this is going in the downward direction. Once it passes like this, it comes in a downward direction, so that's why I'm taking it in the downward direction like this. Okay, this is minus 12.77. okay, let me join these two lines here. Okay, so I have joined these two lines. Now the next thing is to observe for member this. So again this is your 12.77 again, which is going in the upward direction, so I'll take it in the upward direction itself. Sorry, it's coming in downward direction. See here, this is coming in the downward direction, so this is minus 12.77 again. Now again there is plus, this is going in the upward direction, which is positive, it's 40 like this, right? So okay, one small mistake that I have made is that I have written this value to be 20, it's not 20, 20 multiplied by this distance is 20, so which is 40 kilonewton, right? So I have made this small mistake. Let me clarify that. Okay, so good. So this is the value of 40. Okay, now let me join this line, right? So you can say that this portion is null and void. Okay, it is of no use. Okay, now this portion is representing positive. Okay, now if you observe this part, this is your negative bending moment area, and this is your negative bending moment area, right? So this is your SFD diagram, this is your bending moment diagram. Okay, all of you solve this at your home. If you have any difficulty with solving the shear force diagram or bending moment diagram, you ask me. Okay, thank you.